I have a bunch of the latest viral products the internet is buzzing about. I picked some of these products up during the Sephora Spring Savings event. Some of them were new launches at the time, and then some of these products are things I've wanted to try for a while because of the hype they've been getting online. I'm sure you've seen them on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I know I have. And there are some really high quality products I definitely think are worth checking out if you're needing something new. But there are also some products that I think are overpriced, overhyped, and not really worth it. So I'm excited to get into it in today's video. Okay, let's start with this. So I had the same hair dryer for years and years. It was probably getting close to like 8 or 9 years, somewhere around there. And one day it basically exploded on me while I was using it. So I used my backup option, which was a travel hair dryer that I probably had for the same amount of time. And that one died on me pretty shortly afterwards too. So I purchased one from Amazon. I was using it. I told you a couple of times it was never my favorite and it took forever to dry my hair. And I'm happy to say I finally have an amazing option that I love that works extremely well. So this is the Laifen high-speed hair dryer. And I do want to say thank you to Laifen for sponsoring today's video. First of all, it's just a beautiful hair dryer. I love the sleek design. I love the color, but beyond that, it works so well. I was blown away from the first time I used this because it is so efficient. It dried my hair extremely fast, and it also works to protect your hair from heat damage, which is exactly what I need because I use a lot of heat on my hair. I've struggled with a lot of heat damage in the past. I feel like it's gotten a lot better over the years, but a hair dryer can cause a lot of damage if it heats up too quickly. And I knew this was going to be strong because I had this facing out when I went to turn it on for the first time. And I had a bunch of like skincare and hair care products on my sink where I was getting ready, and it blew all of the bottles over. So it has a very strong airflow. It probably cuts my normal drying time in half. I mean, it's even faster if I'm just doing a rough blow dry and just kind of going for like more of a voluminous look, and I'm not worried about using a brush to smooth things out. But if I am going for more of a sleek, smooth look, it probably takes about 10 to 12 minutes, which is much faster than any of my previous hair dryers. Laifen utilizes powerful airflow, like I mentioned in the beginning, instead of high heat to give you a faster drying time with minimal heat damage. And I can see and feel a big difference. I have naturally frizzy hair. It breaks very easily when I'm using a lot of heat, and high heat from my blow dryer can definitely intensify that. So when I use this hair dryer, my hair looks really smooth. Before I tried this, I saw videos of people comparing this to other hair dryers that are between like $200 and $400, and this performs even better. So it's a great option at an affordable price. So there are 4 different temperature modes. Red is hot, orange is warm, blue is cold, and then you can hold this button to activate the temperature cycling mode, which is amazing if you're really looking to cut down on heat damage. Even the red mode, the hot mode, doesn't get so hot to the point where you feel like you're actually frying your hair off, which I appreciate, but I've been using that temperature cycling mode because it kind of goes between all 3, so it really cuts down on heat damage, and I have noticed a big difference when it comes to frizz and breakage. So this does come with 2 attachments. You can use it just like this, or you can use the nozzle if you are trying to really smooth out your hair and blow dry it to more of a sleek style. It also comes with a diffuser, which is great if you have naturally wavy or curly hair, and they are magnetic, so they just pop right on there and stay in place really well. If you're looking for a new hair dryer or you're looking to treat someone in your life, this would make an amazing gift. Mother's Day is right around the corner, so if you have a mom or a mother figure in your life, this would be perfect. And again, there are other colors to choose from, which just makes it fun. You can currently get up to 25% off the Laifen hair dryer right now, so I'll put a link at the top of the description box below, and I'll also pin a comment in the comment section so you can scroll down and find all of the information there as well. So thanks again to Laifen for sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love this hair dryer. While we're on the topic of things that have helped my hair, I had to talk about the new Gisou hair mask. This is the Honey Gloss Ceramide Therapy hair mask. I did pick this up during the Sephora Spring Savings event. This is a really nice texture. It's thick enough that it applies really well, and it does feel like it's nourishing the hair, but it's not going to slide right off. I appreciate that this does not weigh my hair down. I know so many people, when they either use a hair mask or they recommend using a hair mask, they say apply it from like here down, but I use heat on all of my hair, like all the way up at the roots. So I feel like even the roots deserve a little bit of love. So I typically like to apply a hair mask all the way down. And some hair masks are so heavy, they obviously just weigh your hair down or they make your roots look greasy. That's not the case with this one. It is super conditioning and it creates like a very soft, shiny look. I don't know if you can tell on camera, I'm still dealing with the aftermath of breakage from about a year ago when I fried my hair off using a waver. You can kind of see sometimes like down here, but it's growing, it's getting there. So I think that a lot of different steps together make a difference, and a good hair mask is just like a nice, piece to include because if you're using heat on your hair like me, it's just nice to add that moisture back in, condition it. And I do think overall my hair does look very soft and shiny when I use it. It also smells great. It's kind of like the perfect mix between floral and fruity. So it is a really, really great scent for spring. And the scent lingers, but it's not so overpowering that it's going to give you a headache. So far so good. I'm really enjoying this. Another great option for spring, the Huda Beauty Blush Filter. Oh my gosh, I love this formula so much. And I have you to thank for this because when I talked about it in a video, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to try it. I got so many comments from you saying it is your absolute favorite liquid blush formula. So thank you for steering me in the right direction. I actually got a set with 2 little minis during the Sephora Spring Savings event. So I have peach sorbet and then cotton candy. I'm wearing cotton candy, but I'll also show you what peach sorbet looks like on the cheeks. I'll apply a light soft layer and then build it up because this is a really customizable formula. It blends in so easily. It is truly an effortless liquid blush. And you can wear it directly on top of like liquid bronzer, foundation, and if you don't set your makeup, but you can also set your makeup and then apply it, which is what I did today. And it doesn't look heavy or cakey. Now, as for value, I did purchase the kit, and these are mini blushes. Like they are tiny little blushes. They're super cute, but they don't come with a lot of products. So if you feel like you'll fly through this formula, like if there's a color you absolutely love, it might make more sense for you to purchase one full-size liquid blush rather than the mini. But if you're someone like me who doesn't really use up blush very often, you might be okay with getting a little bit less product and having 2 different options for the price. These aren't shades that I would wear every single day. Like for me, this is a lot of blush. It's a bright look, not something I typically go for, but it's fun. So I feel like these are great for spring because they push me out of my comfort zone a little bit. It was a great way to try the formula. It's truly an effortless, gorgeous liquid blush that blends out so easily. You can build it up easily. I love these. Thank you to you for recommending these. I'm sure I'll try another shade down the line in the future, but for now, I'm having really just a lot of fun with these 2 colors. I also tried the new powder blush from Tower 28. This is their Get Set blush, and I have the shade Long Beach Iced Tea. They have some other shades that are probably a little bit more fun, and I thought about going with like a bright pink or like a purpley blush, but when it comes down to it, like this is the shade I wear the most, or the type of shade I wear the most. This really is like the perfect in between if you're looking for a blush bronzer combo. So I'm excited to have this for spring and summer. I've already worn it so much. I have never been like the biggest fan of matte blushes. I'll wear them on occasion, but in general, I love a good glowy, luminous blush. And in the past, I've enjoyed a glittery blush from time to time too. So I wasn't sure if I was actually going to buy this. In fact, right when it launched, I didn't pick it up, but I was at Sephora in Kohl's and I swatched it and I was like, that actually feels really smooth. So I picked up a shade I knew I would get a lot of use out of, and this is gorgeous. It did not disappoint. It looks really great on the skin. This is the type of formula that is good for people, if you're like me, who don't think that you like matte blush, but you kind of want to have one on hand. And I, now that I'm thinking through my blush collection, I don't think I really have a lot of matte blushes. So this is a great option because it is matte, but it doesn't look flat on the skin. It still looks skin-like. You'll see when I apply it. In the lights, it almost looks like it has a little bit of a glow, but in person, I do think it looks pretty matte. That's just probably like my sunscreen showing through the products. And, obviously depends on skin prep, foundation, however you're wearing your makeup that day. But overall, gorgeous, a great option if you want a matte blush that doesn't look dry on the skin. You know what? It kind of reminds me of the NYX Buttermelt blushes without the glow. Very smooth, easy to blend out, surprisingly pigmented. Now, this product actually has some interesting packaging. This is new from Urban Decay. It is their 24/7 Glaze-On Shimmer Liquid Eyeshadow. These retail for $26 each, and there are 6 different shades. So I love the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadows. They're absolutely gorgeous on the eyes, super stunning. Obviously, those are very, very popular. And right now I am into liquid eyeshadow. So I was thinking maybe these would be a liquid version of the Moondust eyeshadows. I'm kind of surprised they didn't market them that way and go with the Moondust name, but I think these are a little bit more subtle on the eyes than the Moondust eyeshadows. So I'm wearing one today. I have the shade, what is this one? Sugar Twist all over the lids. So I really only have like one shadow in the crease, and then I took a little bit of a darker brown in the outer corner, but any of the shimmer or glitter you're seeing on my eyes is this product right here. Some of the shades are a little bit softer. They're like true neutrals, which are the ones I'll probably get the most use out of. I think they actually said they have like 4 shimmer shades and then 2 duochromes. So they do kind of vary in terms of intensities. Some look a little bit softer on the eyes, some are a little bit more intense. These do have some pros and cons. I don't find them to be the most effortless liquid shadow formula out there. And when it comes to liquid shadow, that's kind of like a big selling point. A lot of people use them because they are quick and easy. You apply them, swipe them on, blend them out, and you're good to go. And I do think these take a little bit more work. Now, if I'm applying them to a completely bare eyelid, like no eyeshadow primer, no powder, no eyeshadow already in place, I do find that they feel a little bit tacky and sticky on my eyes, and they tend to crease a little bit throughout the day. It's like they crease initially, and then once they dry down, they don't move the rest of the day, but you can kind of feel them. So personally, when I'm wearing these, I like to go in with concealer, set it with powder, and then apply these, or I'll just take like a little bit of powder eyeshadow in the crease first, and that just eliminates that sticky, tacky texture. And when I do that, there's no issue. It doesn't feel like anything on the eyes, and there really is no creasing throughout the day. Like there's no fallout with these, which is really nice because they are pretty glittery. Once they dry down, they're staying there. Whether they dry perfectly smooth or they dry creased because you didn't prep your eyes. All of that's going to depend on what your eyelids are like. If they're really oily, if they're really dry, you might have a slightly different experience. The packaging is fun. I love the way it looks. I love the design. I don't know that it's the most functional. I'm sure they went with this packaging for a reason. You have to shake it up every time you use it. And I think there's like a little metal ball in there that really keeps the product moving. What surprised me is when I opened it and I pulled the brush out, the brush is so tiny. Like it really doesn't go deep. It doesn't go deep down into the actual product. It really only touches the surface. So then when you want to apply more, you have to stick it back on, shake it up to get the product on the brush again, and then reapply it. I have to end up doing that like a couple of times as I'm doing my makeup. So it just takes a little extra time instead of just like dipping it in and swiping it on. You have to like screw it back on, shake it. It's not the end of the world, but again, not like the easiest type of packaging to use. In the end, they just seem expensive for what they are. I did get these in the mail as PR, which is why I have all 6 shades. It looks nice. I like it, but there are alternatives out there. The e.l.f. liquid glitters or liquid metallics end up giving a very, very similar look on the eyes, and those are significantly less expensive. I don't think the formula is quite as refined. Like this is very thin, very silky as you apply it. The e.l.f. ones maybe feel a little bit more gritty, and you can feel the glitter as you're applying it, but they end up giving a similar effect to the eyes. Another product that I am just no longer convinced is worth the high-end price tag is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I picked up the new scent and the new shade in Birthday Cake, and don't get me wrong, I like it. I am a Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm fan. I have quite a few, but ever since trying the ColourPop alternative, I just don't know that these are worth $24. And I hadn't purchased one in a really long time. And I was such a fan. I told you in the past, like, I love these. It just feels like I am infusing my day with a little bit of luxury. They feel good. It's just a fun experience to apply them. And none of that has changed. But ColourPop's formula is such a closed dupe that I really can't justify spending $24 on one lip balm anymore when ColourPop has a $9 option. And I like the ColourPop formula just a little bit better. I find that some of the shades are slightly more pigmented to the point where they look more even on my lips. They have more scents, more colors. I mean, they might have a similar amount of scents and colors, but the ones ColourPop has appeal to me a little bit more. So I've really been wearing those more than Summer Fridays. I probably wouldn't have purchased this, but I was on vacation with my family. My nieces, they're so cute. They're just like at this age where they're not wearing makeup, but like they know about Sephora, they know about beauty products. So I took them into Sephora and bought them a little lip balm. And it was a fun little vacation luxury because they're not buying lip balms at Sephora typically. And they were like, "Are you going to get one too?" So I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So I grabbed this one, and again, I like it, but practically speaking, I feel like it's just, there are alternatives out there that are less expensive. This one, like I said, is Birthday Cake. It smells good. It has that vanilla cake scent. This is the only one that actually has shimmer in it. So that does look nice on the lips, but it doesn't really have color to it. So it's just kind of underwhelming. And again, I like it. I wear it. I just think $24, like now in my mind, I'm like, is $24 really worth it when there are drugstore lip balms that feel and look identical? And I don't think it is. I think I'm kind of over the high-end lip balm market, and I'm happy with my drugstore alternatives at this point. So that's personal preference, obviously, but I wanted to update you on this because it is a newer launch and it smells good, but I don't think it's anything too special. Speaking of lip balms, e.l.f. just launched their Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms not too long ago. I know I've talked about these in a couple of videos, but now that I've been using them for a few weeks, I wanted to share like my full review on them. So I have a little bit of this one on. This one is in Strawberry Shortcake. I do have a Makeup by Mario lipstick underneath, and the exact name is escaping me. I'll put it in the description box below. But I, again, love these, and these are significantly less expensive than Summer Fridays. These are $9 each. Now, e.l.f. only has 6 shades, so not quite as many options, but I think that some people might actually like these better than Summer Fridays. I like them. So for me, ColourPop is like an identical dupe, but a little bit better. These are a very, very close dupe, but maybe not quite as good, just for a couple of tiny reasons. I think out of the three, e.l.f.'s lip balms smell the best, and they have some different scents that ColourPop and Summer Fridays don't have. They probably smell the strongest, so if you don't like incredibly strong smelling lip balms, you might not like e.l.f.'s line for that reason, but I do like when my lip balm smells really good, and the scents really do differ, so it's not like you're getting the same scent within each one that you purchase. I personally do find e.l.f.'s formula to be the most pigmented on my lips. Again, out of the 3 formulas, it might vary a little bit. Like ColourPop and Summer Fridays both have a cherry lip balm that look a little bit more intense, but overall, e.l.f.'s formula shows up more pigmented on me. But I think the big con, or the biggest con when it comes to this product over Summer Fridays and ColourPop, is that it doesn't last as long on the lips. Like I've been filming for, I don't know, maybe like an hour, and I've applied this already 3 different times. So I do end up reapplying this formula faster than Summer Fridays and ColourPop. It's weird because when you initially apply it, it feels so similar. So I don't know exactly why this one ends up wearing off faster. Maybe it has like more oils to it. I don't know exactly. Like it doesn't necessarily feel thinner, but I would end up reapplying this faster than either one of those brands. So again, they're great. They smell good. They look good. They're inexpensive. They're glossy, gorgeous, moisturizing, comfortable, like all of the things you look for in a lip balm. They just wear off faster. So if you're looking for like a true Summer Fridays dupe, I still think ColourPop's formula is like an exact match, but a little bit better. Whereas this one's a close match, just a little bit, it wears off faster. So tiny, tiny differences, but that's kind of my job to break down like the true pros and cons. So I wanted to share an update on this product with you. So normally I do not buy high-end lip liners. I'm really satisfied with all of the drugstore formulas I have, but this one got me, and it's because I'm such a fan of the Merit signature lipsticks. They're really gorgeous, just like a good everyday formula. So when I saw that Merit came out with new lip liners, I was like, oh, maybe that will be the perfect complementary product to my Merit lipsticks, which I love so, so much. So this is the new signature sheer lip liner. I have the shade Bespoke. I like the sheer finish. I like the fact that it is not fully opaque because, again, as someone who has lighter colored lips, even the softest, lightest lip liners can sometimes look really dramatic on me. And on days where I want more of a natural look, but I still want to define my lips, sometimes I have a hard time finding the right lip liner to do that with. But typically, even if I'm using like a lip balm these days, I like to define my lips because I don't know if it's like as I get older or just, as my preferences have changed, I feel like my lip line border is not very defined. So I like to go in with something just to lightly line them. So anyway, the idea behind this, like a sheer, softer, natural lip liner sounded great, but this is so creamy and it doesn't dry down at all that it ends up wearing away so quickly. It looks pretty as I'm using it. And even if I top it with lipstick, like it looks nice, it adds the perfect amount of definition, but it doesn't stay. It ends up moving around and I feel like it defeats the purpose of actually going in and lining my lips. So I wish they created like a sheer formula that actually dried down, or it didn't even fully dry down, but dried down much more than this. The e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners are an example of a lip liner that doesn't fully set, in my opinion. Like it sets enough, but it doesn't necessarily lock down like other formulas. And for that reason, a lot of people don't like it. I actually don't mind that it's creamy because I find that it's very comfortable. And this, like if you've tried that and you're like, no, that didn't set for me, don't even go anywhere near this because on a scale of 1 to 10, if that's like a 5 in terms of longevity, this is like a 1. I really don't understand. So again, it looks pretty and it's a good idea in theory. I don't think I don't think they nailed the formula in a way that's practical for a lot of people. Another product that is cool in theory, but isn't necessarily the most practical is this one from Milk Makeup. I've been testing these out for a few weeks because when it comes to skincare, you really can't give like a full opinion on it initially. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't even share like a first impressions on this product because would have been pretty positive. The first time I used these, I was like, wow, that is such a good idea to put skincare in like a jelly stick format. By the way, this one is the Watermelon Jelly Glow. It's basically a brightening serum in a stick. And then this one is the Cooling Water Jelly Ice. So it's supposed to just hydrate the skin. And again, stick form feels really good and refreshing on the skin. Overall, I like the Cooling Water Jelly Ice better. I found that this kind of fit into my routine a little bit more seamlessly than the brightening stick. I have other serums that are meant to brighten up the skin that I like a little bit better. And in the end, I found more effective than this product, but not necessarily a ton of products that did exactly what this did. It was great to kind of refresh my skin. If I did my skincare in the morning and then I was applying makeup later on, this was nice. If my skin was irritated, which it has been for weeks and months at this point because the winter was so rough on my skin, this felt really good. The issue is when I first tried these, they were really, really wet. And this one kind of is because I had it stored upside down, which I'll get to in just a second. But as I used them over the weeks, they kind of dried out and they lost that like super wet texture, which because it is a stick serum, I feel like the whole point is that it goes on like a serum, just in stick form. But again, as I was using them over and over, they dried up a little bit. So it didn't feel like the product was really getting on my skin. And because of that, I just assume the benefits can't be there, like the same way that they would be when you're applying a true serum to the skin. So if you do have this product and you found that to be an issue as well, I recommend storing it upside down. I would just keep these in my bathroom drawer like this. And when I did that, I felt like the serum kind of made its way to the top rather than sinking down into the bottom. So that did help overall, but they still dried out quite a bit over just the course of a couple weeks. The other issue, which you can really see with the brightening stick, is that they end up breaking apart. As you're applying this to the skin, little pieces start to come off. Because it breaks apart, it's so wasteful. Like you're losing chunks of product every single time you use it. That wasn't as much of an issue with this one for me personally, but it really happened with this one. I also saw some reviews on Sephora where people said like the entire thing just completely broke off. So it's interesting because when these first came out, we weren't seeing those reviews, but now that weeks have gone by and people have used these consistently, the issues with the product are really starting to come to light. I personally don't think these are worth the money. $29 is probably less expensive than some other skincare brands are charging for a serum, but I would say skip these and go for an actual serum that has similar claims, similar ingredients, because you're going to be able to more fully experience the benefits if you're actually applying the product on your skin rather than swiping it on with a dried out stick. And then again, this one has the issues where it just breaks off, it crumbles, so you're really wasting the product and just losing a lot of its value. So I initially thought this was a new launch because I saw it everywhere, all over social media, the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer. But I think they just ended up launching new shades, and then maybe there was a big social media push because they wanted to kind of re-promote it. And it's actually been a little while since I've purchased a new high-end concealer because the Natasha Denona High Glam and then the Tower 28 Serum concealers are really my favorite. Comparing this to those, I would say it's probably more similar in texture to Tower 28. It's much thinner and it feels lighter weight on the skin than Natasha Denona, but it's not quite as glowy or hydrating as Tower 28. So it's maybe somewhere in the middle. It definitely blends out really nicely and it does last on my skin well. I find it to be pretty brightening, but that could be due to the shade I have. I have the shade Cedar. Overall, I do understand the hype surrounding this product. It doesn't look or feel heavy or cakey on the skin, but it's not so thin that it blends away to nothing or like instantly settles into my fine lines. I have a lot of lines under my eyes, and most concealers, no matter what the texture is like, no matter what the formula is like, instantly just like find their way to those wrinkles. But I feel like this formula is maybe a little bit more forgiving. So I definitely understand why people enjoy it. It's really, really pretty on the skin, and I've been enjoying it a lot as well. Now, I do feel like, again, is it so significantly better than other formulas I've tried? It's worth that extra price point. And I can't say yes. $38 for 0.2 ounces is expensive. I actually thought the Natasha Denona concealer was pretty expensive. That one is $30 for 0.25 ounces. So $8 less expensive for 0.05 ounces more in terms of product. And then the Tower 28 one is even more affordable at 22 for 0.22 ounces. So I'm not saying either formula is exactly comparable to this one. I just feel like for me, I like both of those just as much as this one. That being said, if you have more mature skin, I think you might really love this compared to Tower 28 or Natasha Denona because it's like that nice in between texture. And like I said, it really doesn't enhance the wrinkles and fine lines under my eyes like other concealers can tend to do. So I understand the hype surrounding this as well. If you have the disposable income, if you're willing to spend $38 on a concealer, then you might really enjoy this. I don't think it's a bad product at all. For me, it's just like, again, I'm happy with those other formulas. And I didn't even mention drugstore formulas I love. Like there are a lot of great drugstore options too that I will continue to use this, but I don't think I'll end up repurchasing it. And I personally don't think for me, it's worth that extra splurge. But there's no denying it really is a gorgeous formula. So I absolutely understand the hype surrounding this product. Okay, I wanted to update you on the Lawless Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. I tried this out on camera for the first time and I loved the way it looked. That was a few weeks ago, and I don't know if I've talked about it since then, so I definitely owe you like a full review on this. I have the shade 2F. I like this foundation for a lot of reasons. It applies beautifully. It is so smooth on the skin. It truly blends out effortlessly. I know I say that a lot, but some foundations can just be thick and heavy and don't blend out super easily. This one goes on so nicely. You can go in with a light layer and get more of a light to medium coverage look, but then you can layer it up to get full coverage, and it doesn't look cakey or heavy no matter how much you layer it up. I mean, I'm sure it gets to a point where if you're going in with like a fourth layer, it's going to look so heavy, but because it is so thin and so smooth, you can easily build it up in any area where you need, and it doesn't look like you're adding a ton of product on your skin. I would say it has more of a matte finish, but if you wear a glowy primer or like a glowy sunscreen underneath, that's what I have on today, it does look like more of a natural or satin finish foundation. It definitely lives up to the skin plumping, line smoothing claims. I think it looks smooth even on my skin. My only issue with this product is that it doesn't last on my skin much longer than 8 hours before it starts to break down in two areas, like around my nose on either side and then on my chin. This might not happen to you depending on your skin type. My skin's combo these days, so those are my main issues when it comes to any makeup product. And some days they're oily, some days they're dry, but that is where this foundation tends to separate the fastest. So if I'm wearing this for longer than 8 hours, like one day I had my makeup on for probably close to 8 hours and then I was going somewhere at night, so I had to actually like take it off my nose and my chin. I was in a hurry. I threw it back on in those areas, set it with powder and ran out the door, but I couldn't really leave my makeup how it was because it was really breaking down in those two areas specifically. And from far away, you might not notice, but up close, I feel like it just doesn't look good after that 8 hour mark. Okay, not a new launch, but absolutely a viral hyped up launch, the Day Cactus Fruit 3-in-1 Styling Cream. I think I told you I was planning on trying this out. I purchased these products during the Sephora sale. So I got the full-sized bottle, and then I also got the Taming one. It's the same exact product, except this comes with a little brush, so you can bring it with you on the go, or you can use it to kind of comb flyaways back. I bought this with the intention of using it to create a slicked back bun. That is not something I ever used to do. And I think it's just because I didn't find it to be super flattering on me. And at this point in my life, I'm kind of over just doing things because they're flattering. I do have a little bit of a rounder face. So sometimes when I slick all of my hair back, I feel like it makes my face just feel even bigger, which again, who cares? Like sometimes you just want your hair out of your face and you don't have to have the most flattering face framing hairstyle. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I enjoy flattering makeup, flattering hair, flattering clothes, but sometimes the trend is just fun, even if it isn't necessarily the most flattering for your particular face shape or body type or coloring or whatever. So I've been doing a slick back bun maybe like once a week if I have second or occasionally third day hair, and I love it. It's so nice to get your hair fully out of your face sometimes. So I do love this product for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it smells really, really good, which a lot of people have claimed. They say the signature day scent is like very warm, very fruity, kind of citrusy. I don't know what the exact notes are. If I can find them, I'll put them on the screen for you. But to me, it just smells like summer, like it's a summery scent, which I love so, so much. And it is very conditioning. Like when I use this product to create the hairstyle and then I take my hair out, my hair feels so smooth, and it actually lasts because I'll usually wash my hair the next day. And overall, I just have very soft, very smooth hair, along with other products I'm using, like I said. But I do really like the way this feels when it's in my hair and even once I wash it out. It smooths my hair back without leaving it feeling sticky or tacky or crunchy, which is amazing. And honestly, I do love this little taming wand. I wish there was a way to kind of refill it when you run out which maybe, no, you probably can't. You get such a small amount of product in here compared to the full-sized one, which I don't know that you'll run through this as fast because you just use such a tiny amount, but it's great to kind of brush back any baby hairs, like whether it's in the back of your head or the front, and I love bringing this on the go. Anyway, long story short, I totally understand the hype. I myself am a big fan of these products. Are there alternatives out there that are less expensive, just effective? I'm sure there are, but again, because I haven't been doing this hairstyle for very long, I haven't tried a ton of styling creams. So if you have any other alternatives, let me know. But I really do like this product. It smells good. It feels good. I find it really conditioning. So I understand why like everyone and their mom uses this product. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Just a lot of the viral popular launches that have been floating around the internet and my thoughts on them. I hope today's video was helpful if you were considering these products. Some really great options that I think you'll love, and then some products that aren't necessarily worth the price in my opinion. Again, I do want to say thank you to Laifen for sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love their high-speed hair dryer. It has made such a difference for me, and if you're in need of a new one or you're looking for an amazing gift, again, you can get up to 25% off. So I'll put that link in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments. But thanks again for being here. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.